What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 5-3. Back story time, yeah. But I'm trying to keep an eye on this little dog over here. This little dog, something else. Look at him. Look. Can y'all see him? Can you see him? Hey, little dog. You see him? I don't see him. Where he at? Oh, but he done moved. But anyway, yeah, story time, yeah. Listen, just for the sake of people who don't have a good understanding or don't have a good discernment, the stories that I tell y'all, they from my past. Now you can tell the ones that, when I'm in LA and you see what's going on right then and there. But 90, okay, I had that dog. But anyway, 98% of my stories are from my past. And I'm giving you the stories of a person that really no longer exists. And that person is me. Because the person I was back then, I'm no longer that person anymore. And so I don't want y'all to, when you hear the stories, to think that this is stuff that I'm out here in the streets doing right now. Because it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. All this stuff is old. So don't judge me on that, y'all. But anyway, so now that I got that out the way, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that comment for me. Hit that share too. But anyway, moving right along. Um, Back in the day, I realized why the police used to come here, boy, move, doggy. Oh, hold on, gal. Oh, shoot. Mr. Bouncy, want to say what's up? Say what's up, Mr. Bouncy. Say what's up to the camera. Looking like a little miniature werewolf. But anyway, back in the day, I see why the police wanted to get rid of me all the time. Because I was one of them ones that struck where they knew the striking was gonna be hot. And I'm saying that I dealt with my young homeboys, the little youngsters in the set, I dealt with them. And within dealing with them, the police deemed me as a bad influence because I wasn't really tripping with the homies my age. You know what I'm saying? They grown. Y'all doing what y'all do. The training had to go to the younger homies. I've always been a big advocate of that. Speak to the youngsters. And that's if you doing right or you doing wrong, that's still the target area because they're the ones who are going to come up behind us. And so I used to always deal with my little young homeboys. I'd be in the car. It might be 5, 6 of them in the car with me. I'm always take them, get them something to eat. I'm always take them. I'm gonna sit them down, talk to them, school them. That's what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what to say, what not to say. When the one time get you, let them know when to pull the trigger, when not to pull the trigger, how to watch for this, how to watch for that, how to do a whole lot of things that they don't tell them in this day and age to do, how to train them. And I would take them on field trips with me. Now, for y'all out there who don't know what a field trip is, basically, I'm gonna let you know it's a drive-by. When people going out on a field trip, that means they going out to do some dirt. They going out to hurt the enemies, or as we used to say back in the day, the enemigos. As the kids say today, they ops, which sounds very silly to me. But anyway, so the police used to always be like, yeah, we got to get rid of him. He's teaching these young kids how to be gangsters, and we can't have that. So yeah, I stayed locked up. They would always go out their way to get rid of me. I'm gonna tell you a story about a time I had one of my little homies with me. Now, I told y'all the story about when we had a enemy moving to the set back in the day, and me and the homeboy Crazy Ray had to get him up out of there. You got to go, homie. You got no. You cannot stay here. Not on this street. Get your butt back Cross Central. So, I told y'all that one. It's another incident that happened that blowed my wig back, y'all. And one of the reasons why I never told the story, because quite frankly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to the little homie. I don't want to say his name because he's still from the turf. He's still running around. And so I don't want, because a lot of my homies watch my show. And if they hear it and find out about it, they going to clown the homie, and that's going to start a whole bunch of mess that I don't feel like dealing with. But I'm one of them homies that you can't talk about it too much. Can't talk about it. Talk about it, I'ma react. I'ma react. And see, when me and Crazy Ray was together, that's what we would do. Hey, we was two peas in the pod, y'all. You know? Oh, that's the dog way back there. Anyway, we was two peas in the pod. I mean, we knew what each other thought. We knew what we knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? It was to the point to where me and Cuz could finish each other's sentences dang there, you know? And when it was time to do something, he'd give me that look or I give him that look, we'd just walk off. We not finna say nothing to the homies. We not finna try to, none of that with them because, quite frankly, they wasn't on our level. The homies that was around, they wasn't on me and Ray level. So we didn't even bother with trying to get them to go do nothing because they wasn't gonna do nothing but stand around and drink all day. Me and Crazy Ray was super duper proactive on it. We didn't make no excuses. That's all homies want to make nowadays, excuses on why they shouldn't do this or why they should do that or man, it's this is that. And some of the arguments I can understand because like I say, it's not the 1980s no more. It's 2025. Everybody got phone, everybody got Ring cameras, everybody got cameras around their house. There's cameras on the telephone poles taking pictures of your car. Man, you could put some work in Carson and they gonna follow you and you try to make it back to the 50s, they gonna follow you on the cameras all the way back to when you get out the car, where you pull up at. So it's hard. They pinging your phone. Yeah, it's just wild. The phone, if your phone is on you, your phone gonna tell on you, all type of stuff. So I will admit it is very, very, very harder now to bang the way we did in the 80s in this day and age because it's just technology is just done caught up, So anyway, but I'm gonna take you back to the story, man. We in the set, boom. So now we been running around all day, and when I say we, I'm just talking about homies, just homies running around. At this time, Crazy Ray was, I think he was in jail, and I was out, which was very, very rare for him to be in and for me to be out. But this was one of them times he was in and I was out, but he was on his way out. We found out about an individual that had came into the turf and wasn't supposed to be there. Now this was in the 80s. We found out, boom. Now this is not the story I was telling y'all about when me and Ray did this. Boom, whole different story. The homies found out that the individual was over there and was not supposed to be over there, period. So now the talking was going around about what to do. I'm like, okay. So later on that night, we kicking it. We on 51st and Avalon in our parking lot. So we standing around kicking, talking. So the homies talking about, so I brought it up. I'm like, cuz, man, what's up with old boy? Stay down here on whoopty whoopty bam. So the homies like, oh yeah, cuz, man, that fool, man, he been down there. I'm like, how long he been there? He like, shoot, cuz, he been there a couple of weeks now. I'm like, cuz, why ain't nobody said, man, we be talking about it? I'm like, cuz, I ain't never heard nothing about this. They like, homie, you wasn't around when we was talking about it. I'm like, so what we gonna do about this? What's happening? What's happening? So, that's when they go to looking down and kicking rocks on the ground and, looking like they want to get invisible. No. Ain't no get invisible. No, ain't no need to try to get invisible now. Y'all, shoot, it's on, it's cracking. We talking about this. So, I say, you know what, cuz? I say, you know what? I tell the little homie, I say, cuz, you going with me. Now, this was an individual at the time who, at my knowledge, who had never put no work in for the turf. He was from the set, youngster, new, you know what I'm saying? He'd been from the set for a hot second. But from my knowledge, he had never put no work in for the turf. And so your number just got called, buddy. Bang. I'm like, cuz, you going with me? He like, man, he looking at me, eyes big as Volkswagen lights. Big homie, cuz, what's up? What we finna do? I say, cuz, we finna put some work in. That house, we finna get that house. So the dude was like, the little homie like, well, what we gonna do? I'm like, cuz, we finna go shoot this house up. We finna go shoot the house up. So, I could tell he was a little nervous. He was not gonna show me that he had outright fear because he know that that would have triggered me. But I could tell he was a little nervous. I ain't got a problem with you being a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? I was a little nervous on my first field trip, but it happens, you know. That's where you can tell if they cut out for it. So anyway, move, little doggy. So I'm like, cuz, you going with me. So we jumped in my car. Boom, we skirt out. We heading down to where this house was at. We come past it, I see it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay. He like, what's up? I say, cuz, look. I'm finna come back around, but I'm finna come back around the other way, so the house on your side of the street. I said, when we come past it, cuz, light it up. So he like, all right, cuz, I'm gonna light it up. Man, listen, let me show you something. I come all the way back around. I come around with a house on his side. I'm pulling up. I'm coming down the street real slow. I'm coming past the house. When I'm passing the house, I'm not thinking I'm going to have to tell him, look, cuz, go ahead, or stop the car right then and there, let him get off, and then get on. I think, in my mind, I'm like, you know, me and Ray, we got the routine down pat. You drive past it real slow, boom, and you handle your business. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, you know? None of that happened, y'all. As I passed the house, I'm driving, I'm looking at cuz. He got the heat. I'm like, what you waiting on? Now I done passed the house up. I'm like, cuz, what's up? What you waiting? He like, oh, you want me to do it then? You want me to do it then? What he said to me. Man, I say, cuz, what you tripping on? That was the house, man. Yeah. So now I'm like, man, bump this mess. I say, cuz, come on. I said, I can do it myself. When I came back around, all of a sudden now, it's a dude on the porch. It's an older lady, and it's a young girl. The young girl had to been at least, she couldn't have been no more than maybe 8 at the most. 8. They was coming down. You know, you got them big stairs on that east side where you can walk down and come to the thing. When I come back by, that's what I seen, y'all. That's what I seen. Now I'm not gonna lie. Stop it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be the first to tell you. During my mad dog years, when I just didn't care, just didn't really, and that was during that time, homie. I usually would have got off. I wouldn't have cared nothing about no old, young, no none of, man. I didn't care, man. I had a demon in me back then at that time. But for some reason, I couldn't do it. Not right then. No, something in my spirit just said to him, not right now. No, you know what I'm saying? Because when I seen the little girl, and it was like, no, I can't do this. You know, I'm not gonna do it. So I kept going. I drove straight past. Listen, when we got back to the park, the homie's like, what happened? Why you didn't? Cause see, I don't need nobody to go put no work in. Man, I'll pull up and put my foot on that brake and turn to the side and let loose, get off. You feel what I'm saying? You'll think the four horsemen of the Bible just came back. Yeah, but no. I couldn't do it, y'all. Couldn't do it. You know, young kid like that, innocent. No, I just couldn't do it. So anyway, I left it alone. Man, I let about 2 days go by. I seen the same little homie again. I said, come on, cuz, come here. He like, what's up? I say, you ride with me. He say, what's up? I say, remember that house that we was gonna shoot up? He be like, yeah. I say, cuz, we gonna burn it up. We gonna get rid of it. He like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you going with me? He like, how we gonna do that? I say, cuz, it don't take $3. So boom, cause I remember the last time. I kept him with me for the rest of the day. He was goofy as I don't know what. He was not my speed, but I kept with me because I know if I'd have let him out my sight, I wasn't gonna see him no more. At least not that day. I kept him with me. So when later on that night when it got dark, boom, we shoot the gas station, pop. $3 worth of gas. $3 worth of gas in this little big bucket like thing. Got the big bucket back thing. I came back on the back street. And in my set, the back street is 49th. So back this time we used to do a lot. We used to do everything on 49th. That was the main street in this turf. So we on 49th, we doing what we doing. Boom. I'm showing him how to make cocktails. Boom. Put it, take the little strip, pow, soak it in the gas, fill the bottle up with the gas, bang, let a little bit of the strip hang down into the gas where it's tight. Take a little string tied right here so the little piece hang out. It's all soaked in gas. Bang. Okay, we got 3 of them. So I tell him, I'm like, cuz, look, when we gonna go in the alley because all the houses got alleys in the back. And last time I pulled a stunt like this, that's how we did it, from the alley. So, cool. So bang, we go. I tell him, I'm like, cuz, you light them, hand them to me, I'ma slang them. Then I thought about, I'm like, no, cuz, just hand them to me, and I'm gonna light them and slang him, cause he goofy. So man, we get to the alley, we creep. I got 2 of them in my hand, he got 1. When we get to where the house is, it looked like I'm not really gonna be able to get to this house the way I want to get to it. But I'm like, man, you know what? Bump it. I'm strong. I can sling it. So boom, man, I lit the first one. Whew, I let it go. It hit the roof, but it didn't bust. It hit the roof and rolled down and fell off the side of the roof onto the side of the house. When it bust in, that's when it like poof, and little flames took off, but it wasn't a whole lot. I turned to get the other one, and my little homie is on fire. My little homeboy on fire, y'all. Now, I had flashbacks later of when I tried to pull this stunt before, and I looked up, and my little homie had dropped both the cocktails on the ground, and he took off running down the alley. He gone. We kicked him off the set. He gone. I'm like, man, what the? I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Now this fool is on fire. His sleeve is right, like his sleeve of whatever kind of shirt or coat he had on at the time. It's on fire. How, I don't know. Which later on, come to find out, what had happened when we was making them, and I put the gas in 2 of them, and I told him put the gas in 1 of them. This goofy fool, he done got his clothes, his sleeve, he got gas on it. He got gas on it. Now he called himself, when I throwed the first one, he called himself gonna help, and went to light one and throw it himself. Cause he wanted to have a little heart and throw it, I guess. When he went to light it and throw it himself, his sleeve caught on fire. He ended up dropping the cocktail on the ground and went to hollering, cuz, that would maybe look. I looked this fool on fire. He waving his hand, cuz. I'm like, man, what's up? Man, listen. I said, man, take your coat off. Take the coat off. I grabbed his coat. At the time, he had on what we call a cascade. They like Pendleton coats. I take the coat, I pull it off, I sling it in the alley. Bang, it fall on the ground. I'm like, cuz, what's up? He like, man, I don't know. I'm like, don't trip. I lit the rest of them, did what I had to do. We get on. We get back to the park. I'm clowning. I'm laughing. It's funny to me. It's funny. I'm like, cuz, how you light yourself on fire? Come to find out, that's what it was. I guess he reasoned it out. Man, I believe I got some gas on my shirt when we was filling them things up. I'm like, all right, homie. I'm like, man, it's one of them things when they say good help is hard to find. Good help is hard to find. But now the cold part about it, that same homie right today, he's a stomped down good homie, man. He turned out to be a good homie. He was young, because at the time he couldn't have been no more than about 14 when this incident took place. He couldn't have been no more than about 14. But he a good homie right to this day. They got to come up out that shell. But that's the thing. That was my motto about training the little homies. You can't just do them like homies do today. That's why the situation in LA as far as black gangs, Crips and Bloods is so messed up, because the police took out all the leadership. They locked up all the leadership, and left all them little young kids out there to fend for themselves. And so, of course, the banging wasn't going to stop. They were still going to have to come up and bang. But they did not have the leadership that we had when I was coming up, when I was a kid. My big homies didn't work. My big homies didn't have no jobs and all that old stuff like they do now. But in this was the 1970s and 80s and early 80s. Big homies was in the park all day just chilling, kicking it, talking to us, telling us war stories, you know. In this day and age, big homies go to work. They got families. They got kids. The price of living in LA is so high that you have to work. You just can't hang around and just do nothing and still be able to go live with Big Mama and go live with Grandma and all them. For one, it's not a lot of blacks in LA now like it was back in the 1970s and 80s. It's not a lot of houses and family members that we can go stay with no more. Other people then kind of took all them houses. So that makes the situation a little bit harder. And then on top of that, like I say, homies is working. They got families, they got kids. They don't have the time to come hang out and be non-productive like we were basically being every day back then. They can't do it. So now the youngsters that's coming up banging, they learning it the best way they can. They learning it on their own. You know, they trying to figure it out. So now when the younger generation fall out with the older generation, because the older generation don't want to get out and help them youngsters, but you know, we the first ones who got something to say when them youngsters do something wrong or them youngsters do somehow different from how we did it. The old generation, the first one got something to complain about. Man, them youngsters, man, they always this. Them youngsters always that. Man, them youngsters this, them youngsters that. But y'all ain't doing nothing to help them. Y'all ain't doing nothing to train them, show them nothing, and show them the correct way to do it. So now that they done got out there and said, man, bump them old fools. We gonna do it for ourselves. Now the old heads want to be mad. Young heads don't care. So it's just a rift, y'all. It's just a big rift. How it can change, I don't know. I don't know. Because the LA demographics have changed, you know? But anyway, that homie then, and he's told me several times in the past, he say to him, man, watching you, man, when you would get out the pen, how you did your thing, he say, man, I tried to pattern myself behind you, homie. I say, man, you did a pretty good job, homie, because you rose up in the ranks. You're a rider, you know what I'm saying? And he's an older individual now, in his, the man is in his 50s now, you know? He in his early 50s now. So, of course, his days of doing whatever he was doing are long over with. But anyway, man, that's that story, man. Look, in the meantime, between time, man, y'all tell the people you love them. And don't never forget, man, Cartoon 1, man, from East Side of Avalon. And what? I represent the gangsters, homie. Avalon gangsters. I'm out. Peace.
When I pop, then you pop. Don't nobody drop, you better bring it to the block. Fuck the cops, you better squeeze until it's empty. I put that on 50, she's with it, are you hit me? A gang, swing gang, what it looks at. 5 tray, yeah, third that. 4 8, 8 8, 11 6. So when you slide down the 8, you're getting clapped at. Hands up until my days up, say